Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Hi everybody and welcome back. What an incredible Friday night atmosphere as the Bakersfield High School Drillers take the field. It's not their field, but whenever the Big Blue takes any field, it elicits boos from that home Ridgeview crowd, especially tonight. But the Big Blue crew travels well. Big away stands over there. We're at Ridgeview High School tonight. This is the Kern High School District's live exclusive coverage of high school athletics tonight. It's football in the month of September 2018. Kern High Network brings you Bakersfield High School at Ridgeview. I'm Vance Palm, joined by my partner Rich Cornford. Miguel's doing all things technical for us tonight. Kevin Willie on camera. Well, Coach, JV game was a 7-6 barn burner that the Wolfpack hung on to, and the JV team celebrated down in the end zone with the varsity team coming out, try to hand that mojo over, those good vibrations. On the north side of the football field, the Driller varsity was to themselves over in the end zone getting ready for tonight's game. So many storylines tonight. You and I will unwrap all of them, but as a coach, how about if we get to some of the X's and O's first and foremost? Let's get to all the boring stuff first before we get to the storylines, but in all sincerity, there's some matchups here that are going to be fun to watch. Let's get some of your thoughts tonight on Coach Cornford.
Well, just from a pure athletic standpoint, you'd love to be the track coach at these schools because there are some guys that can fly on both sides of the ball. You know, the Drillers run a very unique offense and a very unique defense. You'll go the whole year without playing that same system again, so it's really tough to prepare for it. And their defense is made up of a bunch of scrappy guys that can all run to the ball. They're typically undersized up front, but they slant and they stunt and they go inside and outside, and it's very difficult to prepare for them. Offensively, running the triple option with multiple weapons and the ability to throw the ball like they have in Cameron Roberson makes it a nightmare to defend. Ridgeview, on the other hand, a little bit more traditional, but again, multiple athletes that can take it the distance.
Coach, we look at the captains out there getting ready for a game like tonight. There is no getting away from some of the storylines. You were a bit tongue-in-cheek before we went on the air, but I know you were serious. It's a salient point about two players tonight that can make all the news.
Yeah, you got Taj Wright playing for Ridgeview, who played for BHS last year. In fact, with two-time all-area athlete at BHS. So he's at Ridgeview now, but then, Ridgeview picked up one of their captains, Carl Jones, out of Golden Valley, an athlete who I hadn't seen play until I watched film. And boy, howdy, can that guy play some ball. He's a difference maker. Colorado commit.
Carl Jones for the Drillers, Taj Wright for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. But we know that both teams have so many more players than just the two that we mentioned, and we're going to get to it. Looking forward to tonight. This is the Kern High Network's live exclusive coverage of high school football tonight. Ridgeview hosting the BHS Drillers. The other game taking place tonight on the Kern High Network. It's Buchanan at Liberty tonight. Number 3 and number 4 are matching up over on the northwest side of the city. You can see the lights from here. Man, what a night for football in Bakersfield. But we are at what we believe to be is an absolute star-studded event. Ridgeview hosting the Drillers in a preseason non-league game. The Drillers from Southwest Yosemite and the Ridgeview Wolfpack from the Southeast Yosemite. And here we go.
I really think special teams is going to be a huge key to tonight's game. Last week, Ridgeview broke open their game with Frontier on a long kickoff return to open the second half. BHS has done the same with kick and punt returns with Carl Jones back deep there. So both teams had better be spot on with their coverage or they'll give up a quick 6.
We're underway. It's about an 8-iron. They just pooch it over about the 23-yard line, bobble for a moment, picked up at the 23, 24-yard line by Jones. He's wrapped up very quickly, gets nothing. So not the cleanest start for the kickoff return team for the Drillers. But here comes that offense.
Yeah, great job by Ridgeview getting that ball to get high in the air and hit the ground. So Jones couldn't field it cleanly. They were able to get the coverage down there and forcing the Drillers to go 80 yards. Now, last week, Carl Jones took the first snap and he went about 65 yards for a touchdown with it. So no distance is safe when the Drillers have the ball.
Quarterback for the Drillers, the oft-mentioned, well-known Cameron Williams. I called some of his games as a sophomore quarterback, and he was spinning at 55, 60 yards. Last year he predominantly played the defensive captain role, but now tonight behind center and already has committed to play Pac-12 football. Here he is behind center. First play of this game. Quick pitch, and it's bobbled. It's on the ground. Fumble. Picked up. First play of the game, scooped up by the Wolfpack. The whistles blow, so it's not a touchdown, but who else picks up the fumble but Taj Wright?
Well, that, big key to the game for the Drillers right there. That option offense can be real tricky, but it also can lead to turnovers. And turnovers were something that really cost them in their first game versus Servite, where they gave up a touchdown when they were on offense. So we already see it first play of the game. They go out to the pitch, and they can't handle it, and Ridgeview gets a huge break.
Taj Wright scoops it up, picks it up, and holds it up as he's running. He wanted the referees and everybody in the stands to see, hey, we've got it. Now look at this, behind center. Justin Henzo. Here's a run to the left side, gobbled up very quickly. Tackle made out there by Jacob Zimet.
Yeah, and we see already Bakersfield High defense lives off of making negative gains, putting you behind the chains. Ridgeview knows they've got to stay ahead of the chains. They can't afford 2nd and 13s. They need 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8s, 3rd and 4s. You get behind the chains on these guys, and they feast off of turnovers and sacks.
We're just underway, and it's as if the Ridgeview Wolfpack received the kickoff. They'll get it to start the second half, and they have it already. The first play from line of scrimmage for the Drillers was a fumble, and now here comes the Wolfpack. It's a complete pass over here to the near side, and it's DeGraffenried.
DeGraffenried's Ridgeview's top receiver, had over 600 yards last year. That's his 10th catch of this season. Maybe a little bit of a slow start for him, but he's definitely a guy that's got Division I potential, as about 8 or 9 of these guys.
Head coach Dennis Manning talking to his quarterback, Justin Henzo, the junior.
Interesting that Henzo got the start tonight over Taj. I know Taj is a fantastic defensive player where he'll probably play in college. Henzo threw 13 touchdown passes last year.
Quick pass out to the right side. That's a fumble. It was connected. And another fumble. Ball's on the ground. And the Drillers have it. That was a completion, and then he dropped it, picked it back up, tried to advance it, took another big pop. So just like that, Coach. And we have a Wolfpack player down. Oh, and I think it's DeGraffenried. But he's probably more bruised emotionally than anything right now. Woo.
Boy, golden opportunity. You get the ball out to one of your playmakers over there. He bobbled it. It likely would have been at least close to the first down. But turnover on downs, or turnover with the fumble there.
Wow.
Well, protecting the football is huge in this game. We've seen both teams mess that up already once.
In 6 plays, there's been 2 quick turnovers, and it's back in the Drillers' hands. 5 plays. Here's a run play right up the middle of the football field. Oh, boy, are you kidding me? Wesley Wilson with a huge gain up to about the 43-yard line, 44-yard line, right between the hash marks, and that was a very large gaping hole.
Well, the Drillers came out in something that Ridgeview hadn't seen yet on film. They had a tight end on that play, and Ridgeview's defense has been pretty effective against the Drillers the last 4 years. They like to pinch their ends inside. That tight end made an extra gap, and BHS exploited that gap.
10-minute mark here left in this first quarter, just underway here on the Kern High Network. BHS at Ridgeview, 1st and 10. Another strong run right between the tackles, and a good tackle made out there by Taj Wright. And, Coach, when you've played for one team for a couple of years, like Taj played for the Drillers, as you mentioned, not only did he play for them, he excelled and made a name for them. When he comes on the other side of the ball, comes to another school, some guys are going to be after him, and then he's helping some guys up, shaking them on the back, saying, hey, how you doing? How's it going? But there is no love loss when that ball snapped.
Again, we see a tight end set or an unbalanced set with an extra lineman down here.
Carl Jones. as the receiver down here below us. The ball goes to Wilson. He loses his footing, but still it's going to bring up 3rd and about 3 right at midfield.
So BHS is pounding what's known as the veer right there, hitting that off tackle with the fullback hard. That tackle gap is created because the tight end in there.
Coach Manning turned around. There's a flag on the play before the play gets started. Coach Manning was turning around looking up here at his coaching staff up next to us, and he was having a word with his assistant coaches up here up top the tower. And this may have been encroachment before the
sideline warning.
Oh, a sideline warning, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, they're getting more and more strict every year with where you can line up. They keep backing the coaches and the players up. And
even Casey, the photographer for the California, got backed up.
Yeah, it's hard to get used to. You're used to walking out, and some guys are a little bit more ornery about it officiating-wise than others. Some will give you a couple warnings, and some won't. BHS is using kind of an end over here as that tight end. So number 55 is jumping out there, lining up wide. That's Seth Morin. He's coming out here as a tight end, and they got number 24 on the far side as a tackle.
3rd and 2, ball's at midfield. Williams takes the snap, handoff, big strong run. Gets about 6 yards, and that'll be a first down. Wilson again picks it up. By the way, Wesley Wilson, a junior, 6 foot, 180-pounder.
Yeah, he's their leading rusher coming in with 181 yards rushing in their 3 games. That they have so many guys, they'll rotate guys, but he's the guy that they like to get going on that veer, that option. And now they go with the unbalanced line, the tackle to the left here.
1st and 10 on the Ridgeview 44-yard line. Another strong one right at the middle. Oh, man, a touchdown-saving tackle. Wilson was gone, but Elijah Alexander Williams on the tackle.
So I think it's obviously proven to be a great adjustment by Paul Gola and his staff to run that unbalanced line, run it into what would be a tight end, because Ridgeview doesn't have anybody in that gap, and they've consistently been gashing them to 5 to 7 yards.
Carl Jones again busts way out to the far left side of the line of scrimmage. He's got DeGraff and Reed on him. Fumble, ball's on the ground.
Fumbled at the line of scrimmage.
Williams falls on it.
Now, one adjustment Ridgeview can make to that is they can slide each of their guys a gap, half gap over to help, because we've seen, we don't know what that play was exactly, but the previous 5 plays were always the exact same play, that outside veer.
So,
2nd down and 10.
A loud start to this game. 2 turnovers on the first 4 plays, 1 on each side of the ball. Right now the Drillers on a 2nd and 10 at the Ridgeview 32-yard line. 7:45 remains in this first quarter. No score. Williams, the quarterback for the Drillers. Cam behind center. Everybody packed in tight. And what will the whistle be? I think Coach Gola wanted a quick timeout, and he calls it.
Well, he's got Carl Jones man-to-man on DeGraff and Reed. Each team's maybe best skill player. Well, Taj might be the best skill player on Ridgeview, but DeGraff and Reed is right up there. That's a great matchup right there. It'd be interesting if the Drillers try to go one-on-one up there. Not too many people can handle Jones one-on-one, but DeGraff and Reed might be one of them.
Pleasure to have everybody with us tonight. Miguel's our director, producer. Kevin Willey's on camera. I'm Vance Palm. I have Rich Cornford next to me. Over at Liberty High School, the Buchanan-Liberty game, Dr. Louis Amastoyakovich calling that game with Rick Van Horn, color commentator. And great to have 2 big-time games on the Kern High Network tonight. Want to thank the United States Army, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. Of course, we couldn't go anywhere or do anything without the Motor City Minute. Motor City, alive and well. And, of course, Tony's Pizza. There will be a Tony's Pizza Player of the Game announced this evening. Last time we were here on this field, it was Maximus Hidalgo with the scoop and score for 55 yards or 60 yards that got it. We're back in now, 2nd and 10. Williams, this time another pitch, fumble again, and another scoop.
Eddie
Look
Jackson.
out.
Number 12 is Eddie Jackson right there.
EJ. The second pitch attempt, the second bad relationship between quarterback and running back, and the second time that the Wolfpack has scooped it up. This time, EJ almost went to the house with it, First and 10, Wolfpack right back at the Driller 28-yard line, 27-yard line. Ay, Coach.
Well, you live by the option. Sometimes you die by the option. They were fortunate that EJ got caught over there. EJ's dad, Eddie Sr., is one of the assistant coaches on the Ridgeview staff, and he's a heck of a good football player. Usually when you have a coach for a dad, that's the case over there.
Well, it just looked like there was not enough space between quarterback and running back, and he had to reach over to get it. So here we go.
Again, we see great penetration by the Drillers there.
Sean Allen.
Henzo still at QB, has Elijah Alexander Williams with him, Dalen DeGraffenried,
Second down.
Anthony Ramirez.
Seth Morin doing double duty, offense and defensive line over there for the Drillers. Nice play there.
Jacob Martin, the big senior center, snaps the ball, and it's right into the hands of Alexander Williams. Picks up 1 or 2 yards, not a bunch.
You know, a lot of times because the Drillers lack a size up front, you think you can go right at them, and sometimes you can. But, you know, those guys are coached so well over there with that, muscle memory, reflex action type things by Coach Gola that they're tough to root out over there, even though none of them are in a three-point stance usually.
Here's a 3rd and 9. Ball is right between the hash marks on the Drillers' 26-yard line. Alexander Williams stands in the shotgun, and their flags, and that was a great job. I don't know if that's going to be on the Drillers or will it be moving by the Wolfpack. I think it's on BHS.
Yeah, that really helps Ridgeview there, shortening the distance. And, if you look up top, man-to-man, you have Carl Jones on Dalen DeGraffenried, the exact opposite of how it was when Ridgeview was on defense. So those two guys are going to get to know each other really well tonight. And the winner of that battle might very well be the winner of the game.
6 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Coach Manning had a quick chat with Henzo over on the sidelines.
This is probably 4-down territory for Manning. He tends to go for it on 4th and short to medium in the red zone.
DeGraffenried way out of the top of your screen on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Henzo hands the ball off right in front of him, and it's a great play down to the 16-yard line. And that is a first down, Ridgeview. Woo, Zion Hall took a big hit from Jernigan, but picked up the first down.
Zion Hall's a 3-sport athlete here at Ridgeview. He was the 3rd fastest freshman in the state last year in track and field about halfway through the season. So a kid that can really fly. Has 3 touchdowns already on the season, so having a great sophomore campaign.
1st and 10 at the Drillers' 16-yard line. Alexander Williams stands in the shotgun. Another hard count. Drillers hold this time. Alexander Williams going to take it. Finds a seam, lowers his head, takes a big hit, but still gets to the 12-yard line. Boy, that's a strong, tough run.
And that's what you need against the Drillers. You got to stay ahead of the chains. You got to be able to mix things up. If you get in a pure passing situation, that's their preferred mode of operation in BHS territory. They love to get after quarterbacks.
That's the voice of Rich Cornford, longtime West High School coach, Frontier coach. Now he's the head coach of the Ridgeview Wolfpack Frost Soft team. We're lucky enough to have him on Friday nights. 2nd and 5 from the Driller 11. Another hard count. Same play. Look at this flag on the play, though. The crowd thinks touchdown for a moment. However, Cameron Williams had a beat on him, and I believe they're going to call a holding maybe on Jesse Cruz.
Yeah, I think it was probably on Jesse Cruz. Boy, last year's game, I know Ridgeview was flagged for a ton of penalties. That's something that they've got to overcome, but it's tough to do against the Drillers. They're going to be putting Al back into about a 2nd and 14. And then just the mental standpoint of having 6 points taken off the board there.
Replay, 2nd down.
Drillers doing a lot of that single wing stuff. 2 tight ends, direct snap to the back. He handed that time to Zion. Now Henzo back in at quarterback.
Switch with me, Coach. Let me get on this side. I've got my big board, and it's getting in Miguel's face. There we go. 2nd and 17 after the hold. Henzo, screen play. And the Drillers eat it up so well they knocked off the helmet of Alexander Williams. He's going to have to come off. It ended up in the hands of Zymet.
Boy, the Drillers do react awful fast. Again, you've got multiple Division I football players out there playing for them. You turn on the TV about 3 or 4 years from now, and we're going to see a lot of these guys playing on Saturdays. And maybe in about 5 or 6 years on Sundays.
Wolfpack comes in 2-1 overall. Same for the Drillers. 3rd and 18. We're going to dip below the 4-minute mark right now. And they are at the Driller 26-yard line. Henzo drops straight back. Flicks one to the corner, and it is uncatchable. No flags, no nothing. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Good sound coverage there by the Drillers. Just cut the route off. You know, that's how you teach it and how you want it to be done. So no pass interference on the play. Ridgeview's going to have to go for a long field goal attempt by Fabian Guillen.
So Guillen will come on. We saw him a few weeks ago. Strong leg. Accurate. And this will be a 42-yarder.
And it should be within his range. He's a kid that takes kicking very seriously. Goes to kicking camps. Does that whole circuit. So it definitely within his range here from 42 yards out.
The snap, the hold, it's up, and will this crowd be into it? No good, wide left. Wow. Boy, had the leg, just a wide left. So no score, still tied at 0. 33-44 remains here in this first quarter. Man, what a cannon blast start to this game. 3 turnovers, no scores off the turnovers. Great matchups.
Yeah, Ridgeview having 2 opportunities there where they'd gotten inside the 20-yard line and come away with 0 points out of it. BHS, all we've seen them do really so far is run the ball, but they've dropped it twice on option pitches.
So the Drillers break out of the huddle. Cam Williams behind center. Weapons everywhere. He keeps it himself. Lowers the shoulder and gets to about the 28-yard. Taj Wright somehow ends up with a football.
That's about the 3rd time he's ended up with the ball. They've only called one of those a fumble. But, boy, Cam Williams having a little trouble holding on the balls tonight.
3:20 remains here in this first quarter.
So Cameron's committed to Washington, another Pac-12 school, as a safety, but 3-year player here at quarterback as well.
They try it again. This time they connect. The pitch is successful and a nice strong run, and that's Cameron Bonner. Bonner, a junior running back, linebacker, haven't called his name yet till tonight.
And we got a late flag out there. I don't know. It looked like 2 guys might have been having a conversation that the referees didn't appreciate.
And, Coach, that was one of the question marks that I had in this game personally, and actually the subject was broached down on the field pregame when I was kind of talking to some individuals that are involved in both schools, just kind of, Friday night discussions. How much would emotion play into this? Would certain teams lose it? Would certain teams gain an edge knowing that the other team's losing it? Or will it just be basic football? But I think with everything that's been noted about the transfers and the history already, forget about transfers. If there wasn't a single transfer in this game storyline, still a big-time football game between the Wolfpack and the Drillers, I think emotions will run high from start to finish.
Well, these kids have been playing against each other for years, since youth football, and a lot of them played with each other in youth football. So there's big-time bragging rights. For Ridgeview, this is a big game for them. This is the biggest game in the preseason. They see BHS as being their natural rival over here. All right, and that call did go against Ridgeview. Not exactly sure what happened. second big penalty against the Wolfpack tonight, with the first one calling back the score by Zion Williams.
2:56
Penalty moves the ball out.
remaining in this first quarter. Still no score. For all the fireworks, it's a 0-0 first quarter.
We've seen BHS go back to their normal flex offense where they got a receiver split to both sides, standard 5 linemen. They got 3 of their 5 linemen are returning guys, so really a strength this year, and maybe what was an uncharacteristic weakness for them last year when they struggled some with their offensive line. But these guys have been hitting on all cylinders. Again, a unique thing about the Drillers is they line up in a 4-point stance. Great for firing straight ahead, not so great for pass protection. So it is important for the Drillers to be able to run the ball effectively tonight.
Okay, they have the chains moved to where the football is, so now we can get rolling here. 2:52 and counting in the first quarter. Cam Williams behind center. Nice strong run to this near side here.
Inside hand on to number 6, Cameron Williams.
Yeah, and the Drillers
Actually,
will take.
that was Wesley Wilson again with the carry.
So the Drillers will take 6 yards on first down every chance they get there. That helps get the machine rolling over there. And Ridgeview's going to need to figure out a way to contain them a little bit better on first down. They've got everybody up tight. Nobody's deeper than 5 yards from the football.
Second and 4. We'll dip below the 2-minute mark here during this play. Williams, maybe an audible. We'll see. This time, Ridgeview, nothing doing. Handoff caught at the line of scrimmage. They say they're going to give him 1 yard to the 45-yard line. Third and 3. So great job by that Ridgeview defense up front.
And Ridgeview's got everybody coming here. Everybody's pressing the line. They're playing man coverage out wide. And, you'd think throw the ball on that. But it's tough. Justin Spainhoward, who played for me last year as a freshman, is playing a lot of varsity football. Really good nose for the football. Hard-nosed kid, varsity wrestler. They got him at a defensive end right now, wrecking havoc.
Here's a big 3rd and 2 here. Oh, boy. A burst to the outside. Look out. And it's a big first down and more. And that's Wilson again. Wesley Wilson continued to rack up those yards in this first quarter. Big first down.
Good saving tackle again by DeGraffenried. We've seen him have to do that a couple times already.
25-yard gain on the play. First down, Drillers.
It's a warm night here in Kern County. Everybody's looking ahead to next Thursday when it says it's going to be 86 degrees. Disbelief even on Miguel's face. Kevin Willie says, I'll see it when I believe it, or I believe it when I see it. Another pitch out here to the near side. Uh-oh, a lot of room, a lot of space. Jernigan looks to get in, and he does. Touchdown, Bakersfield High School.
Touchdown, Drillers.
Celebration flags coming.
And that time you had Carl Jones making a great block on Dalen DeGraffenried to set him up there for that score. They went back to that unbalanced line where effectively they're putting a tight end in on the right side and running the veer, and then they went to the pitch off of it. Got some good blocks and a nice touchdown run.
So Isaiah Jernigan, the senior, trots into the end zone, flags at the end of it. Ridgeview Wolfpack fans were looking for a holding flag. That didn't happen.
Yeah, and those Jernigan brothers are both stellar athletes for Bakersfield High. I know Isaiah, he's getting some mid-level looks, and his younger brother Isaac has already got offers from USC and Arizona. So, like we said, there's a lot of star power out here tonight.
The officials talking it out real quick.
I think what's going on, they're giving Manning the choice. I think if the foul's on BHS, and he can either take it on the extra point here or on the kickoff. And I think Manning just told him we'll take it on the kickoff.
Okay, the umpire's taking the football, is going to put it down for the PAT. What is official is that it's 6-0 BHS with 1:10 remaining in this first quarter. Finally have a score. Once again, folks, great to have you with us. Vance Palm, Rich Cornford, Miguel and Kevin Willie here. 6-0 here with only a buck left in this first quarter. It's going to be assessed on the kickoff. That's what the hand signals were from the referee.
So they gave them 2 fouls on that play. I'm not sure if they marked them both off or not. We'll have to see if it's a 30-yard mark off there. That would be a
2
big
players
deal.
might have been called for it.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't see anything really over the top. Did you, Coach?
Just a little chest bump. Guy's happy to be in the end zone.
Yeah. Well, here is the PAT. Low snap. It's handled, and a bullet.
Nick Torres' extra point is
Torres got it through, and we'll stay here with only a minute left in this first quarter. We'll take a break at the quarter break, but 7-0. Set up with one really big, long run.
Yeah, and again, they're going to that unbalanced line where they bring the tackle over, put him in a tight end spot, and Ridgeview's had a very tough time adapting to that. A little wrinkle that I know they haven't seen on film yet. Again, these teams have played 4 times over the last 4 years. BHS has won 3 of those. Ridgeview won it once. And, I think it's something that BHS realized that Ridgeview, has always defended them pretty well. And, they put something in their game plan over there that's being very effective.
Coach Manning talking with his assistants up here next to us. Coach, you know them all pretty well.
Yeah. Coach with Manning over at West High was his defensive coordinator way back in the late 90s for 3 seasons, and then coaching with him here for the last 2 years as his freshman coach. He's a guy that he's been around the block. Both these coaches, probably 2 of the 3 most successful coaches in town, right up there with Brian Nixon. Manning's won 117 football games as a head coach, and Goal has won 146. That's pretty good longevity in this day and age when we see a lot of guys go 1 or 2 seasons and out.
So there we see the ball back at the 25-yard line, assessed against the Drillers for excessive
and I think they're marking the next one
celebration,
off.
And 2 Drillers.
So this one will be half the distance.
Were penalized, so this is no small penalty to know that individuals like Sean Allen, Chris Thompson, Anthony Ramirez are all viable options to take this football coast to coast, bro.
And it was Chris Thompson who took it last week against Frontier that broke that game open for him. And, the Drillers' coverage unit hasn't been great. Last week versus Paramount, they gave up 2 long returns of about 60 yards each. So, dangerous situation for them.
All right, Torres going to have to really put the boot on it. Here we go. Not bad. 31-yard line. Taken by Alexander Williams. Oh, sorry, this is Thompson. Oh, what a great tackle. A really nice tackle by Elijah Lee.
That was just what the doctor ordered for Bakersfield High. Great coverage, nice open field tackle on a guy that's tough to tackle in the open field.
Yeah, if you would have told the Driller fans the ball's going to be down at the 45-yard line, do you want the kick or not? No, we'll take it at the 45-yard line. That was great coverage, and Torres put a nice boot on it.
So worst field position that Ridgeview has had tonight when each of the last times they started inside the 30 of the Drillers.
On the 45, 1st and 10, exactly 1 minute left. That play did not look good from the very start.
That's the sophomore Sean Allen right there getting the handoff, but had no chance as he was hit immediately. You've really got to do a good job of changing your snap counts because the Drillers will try and time that count. They start a yard off the ball, but they're all coming forward at the snap with that momentum.
Adrian Moreno for the Drillers, middle linebacker, a senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds, a menacing linebacker, just roaming behind his defensive lineman.
Yeah, another returning starter on that Driller defense that's got a lot of experience.
2nd and 12. Hard count, nobody goes. DeGraff and around the corner, almost wrapped up for a big loss by Cameron Williams. Williams slowed him down enough, and that'll do it for the first quarter. It is 7-0 BHS. We have a really nice football game shaping up here for you on Current High Network. We'll be back right after this with the second quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first quarter with a score, BHS 7, Total Pack 0. Ridgeview High School welcomes everyone to today's contest. As each team represents their respective schools, we remind you that honoring the values of sportsmanship is the essence of every athletic contest. We ask you to please show respect for players, respect for coaches, respect for officials, and respect for those around you. Players, coaches, and fans, let's all remember to respect the game.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field,
Welcome back, everybody. Second quarter action here. 3rd and 13 for the Wolfpack. They trail by a touchdown, 7-0 BHS up as we start this second quarter. Wright, the quarterback, bootlegs, looking for some room, makes a lot out of nothing, gained 5 yards, but he covered about 40 yards. And we saw Taj Wright a few weeks ago here just basically get out in the open space and make things happen, but it's not as if the Drillers aren't completely aware of his talents.
Yeah, but boy, I mean, if anybody can mimic what Taj can do on the field, the Drillers can with some of their guys, but you know, he just made something out of nothing there, and I think that might need to be the answer for Ridgeview here, somebody that can make something out of nothing because they've had a really tough time moving the ball.
Keontae Bell, another senior. See, seems like every person I'm calling out here, big-time name star power. High snap, handled, good boot. Bell takes it at the 20, looking for some space, backs up. And nice job by the Ridgeview defense to wrap him up. Really no gain. Got it at the 21, went down at the 21. So good job by Ridgeview. You mentioned special teams. So many times, Coach, we have these super talented 11-man contests that go on. Quarter in, quarter out, third quarter, fourth quarter. And then it ends up being, you know, some spectacular plays on special teams that make or break these games.
Yeah, it really does. And the ability to move field position and, you know, put points on the board. If you're bad at special teams, you're missing extra points, you don't cover kickoffs well, you know, those are the kind of hidden points that really usually end up biting you in the rear.
Just start the second quarter here. Again, want to thank the United States Army, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Motor City, and Tony's Pizza for being on board this year. We have astronomical viewing numbers for all of our events. Appreciate the support. 1st and 10.
Well, I think that's Carl Jones in at quarterback. I think he turned the wrong way, and then he ran and made 7 yards. So
that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah. These guys, I mean, crazy talented athletes out here. And he's, again, one of the best I've seen this year. So impressed with him on film. Had a former player of mine, Cortez Donald, tell me a couple years back, you know, hey, that guy Carl Jones, he's the real deal. Hadn't seen him until just recently, and extremely impressed.
Called some of his contests when he was a Golden Valley Bulldog. Now he's behind center on a 2nd and 3. Jones on a keeper. Great fake. Just great fake and some big contact taking place out in that field right now. I know it's a cliche, but I can hear those pads popping way up here.
And the Drillers working that veer game, going to that tackle overside, picking up solid yards there on the the quarterback keeper on that one.
We have a timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take a short break here. We'll be back in a moment here on KernHighNetwork.com at Ridgeview High School.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
Welcome back, everybody. 3rd and 10. A lot of noise being made by the Ridgeview cheering section. Pitch out to the far side. Oh, beautiful play by Carl Jones to hang on to it as long as he could. And by doing that, he gets it over to Cameron Williams, and Williams gets it to the 42-yard line. Jones hung on until he was basically almost thrown down to the grass.
Well, again, the risk-reward, option football, that can end up on the ground, but you see the reward side of things is it can turn into a big play for you. They've already done that twice. And again, I think Ridgeview is going to have to slide their defensive line over a little bit to that tackle overside, which that would be to the left this time, as you see more in the tackle over here.
1st and 10. Drillers looking to get everybody in there. Here comes Jernigan, Isaiah. He goes in motion, and whistles blow. The Drillers did not have it set. Didn't look good before the snap, and they pay the price with a momentum-stopping penalty.
Boy, and Ridgeview needs something to stop them right now, because these last several drives, the Drillers have got consistent gains on 1st down with that veer option.
Let's not forget the Wolfpack crowd thought they had a touchdown with Zion Hall, but a holding call pulled that back. So in the hearts and minds of the Purple, they're thinking, hey, it should be 7-7, but it's not. It's 7-0, and now we have Elijah Lee down here on the left side. A pitch, great job by the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Oh, look at that. Big time penetration in there. Great job in there by Eddie Jackson again.
Pitch to Bonner.
Yeah, nice job by EJ. Working him as an outside backer a lot right now. He had the one scoop that almost scored, and then a loss of yardage there.
2nd down and long.
And we haven't mentioned him yet, but throughout the evening you will hear about number 44, Pierre Morrison, for the Ridgeview Wolfpack.
They moved Pierre from a defensive end to a defensive tackle for this game. Looks like Ridgeview's lined up offsides. Huh? He just backed up.
Flare out to the far side, and it is caught. Carl Jones has it. He cuts back up midfield. A spin, another spin, looking to get to the end zone. Oh, wow. Can he pick up some blocking? Finally brought down at the 15-yard line. And there you go, Kern County. There's a good look at number 3.
We told you that Carl Jones versus Dalen DeGraffenried matchup was going to be big. That's the first pass the Drillers have thrown tonight. Little tunnel screen out there to him, set up very well. Good job using his blockers and then making people miss. And like I said, he is very exciting. Colorado's got to be thrilled to have him with a verbal commit.
1st and 10. Ball at the Ridgeview 15-yard line.
You get a good look at that tackle over lineup right there. Morin, number 55, lined up as a tight end.
Cam Williams behind center. Fumble! Ball's on the ground. Ooh.
Well, I think that was big Pierre Morrison there creating a pile, and the fullback hit somebody's rear end and dropped the football for a second. Also, Justin Spainhauer, who they call Chubbs, the sophomore in there, number 30, creating piles.
Wow, that is a tandem right there.
Loss of 1. 2nd down.
Morrison, a senior. Coach just mentioned Spain Howard, a sophomore.
So if you look at this unbalanced line, you see that Ridgeview's got 4 guys to the short side. Kind of think that's a mistake.
A pitch out to the far side, could be a touchdown. Oh, a big hit at about the 3-yard line, and that was Cameron Bonner. Bonner, full of speed.
We got a flag down. Pretty sure it was a hold there. Right at about the 12-yard line.
Penalty marker.
So now Drillers get a touchdown called back. When you run wide like that, when you get the ball out there when the pitch, a lot of times you do get a lot of holding calls as people are trying to maintain their blocks in space. And I think that was what happened there.
They move it back to the 23-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and long.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
8.5 left here at until halftime. There is a breeze blowing somewhere in California, just not here tonight. Miguel being attacked by gnats, not digging it. Hey, man, ain't show business grand.
All right, shotgun empty set here for the Drillers.
Williams drops back, has time, flings it. It's caught out here to the near side. Oh, wow, beautiful move. That's Keontae Bell, gets down to about the 6-yard line. It gives you an opportunity to see Williams' arm. Strong, accurate.
Yeah, and the line did a good job of protecting over there. Ridgeview has a really good pass rush. But he had plenty of time to throw there, threw a dart out wide. 3rd and 1.
2-down territory for the Drillers. Under 8 to go in the half.
Watch for the veer to the right here.
Bell behind Williams. Coach, you called it.
Yeah, and you can see that hole as it opens up there, and they're just attacking that spot consistently. Again, I think Ridgeview's going to have to slide everybody one gap over when they recognize that.
That's exactly what Coach Manning is. Well, if I was to read his hand language.
Yeah, Ricky Carter, the defensive coordinator, does a great job with this defense. So they're on top of things over there. And I think you see that they've just slid him right now. Now, it'll be interesting. BHS will probably put him to the other side now. Nope, he's to the right again.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Hard count. Cam Williams had about 5 purple jerseys jumping, so that'll move it up a little bit closer if that's the call, if it stands. And it does.
Encroachment against the Wolfpack.
You know, down here at the goal line, you don't like to do that, but as a defense, you're trying to get any advantage that you can. It only costs you 2 yards here. If they flinch, it costs them 5. So you bang for your buck. It's not a terrible penalty.
Keontae Bell again behind Cameron Williams. A lot of options here for the Drillers. They give it on a pitch, and that's a touchdown. Cut right back in, Bonner. Cameron Bonner, touchdown, BHS.
Cameron Bonner, 2 yards.
Ridgeview's going to have to figure out how to stop that veer because BHS is just going to keep going to that well every single play. Be interesting what the Wolfpack does on offense if they put Taj back in at quarterback, try and give him a spark here, or if they keep Hinzo in there. Hinzo threw for 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns last year, so he's a guy that's got a good arm and understands the offense, but Taj gives you that mobility factor that sometimes is so needed against the Drillers in their pass rush.
Torres on for the canceled or postponed PAT.
Encroachment against the Wolfpack. At the distance of the goal.
Even though it's moved up a bit, Coach Gola still wanting to get some work in on their PAT squad.
So interesting, they moved the ball up 1.5 yards, but the kicker moved his tee up only 6 inches.
Well, whatever he wants, he gets, and he delivers. 14-0 with 7:06 remaining here in the half. You're watching KernheimNetwork.com. The Drillers up by 2 touchdowns. We'll be back right after this.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Sean Allen and Chris Thompson back to receive for your Wolfpack.
Public address announcer Mark letting everybody know who's deep for the Wolfpack.
Mark Dona is my next door neighbor, the voice of Fullerton Titans softball.
Top-notch pro. The ball's in the air, taken at the 12-yard line. Allen looking for some room. Nice job by the Drillers. Keep him inside the 30. And he was tackled in there by Mario Morales.
So again, good coverage by the Drillers, holding the Ridgeview Wolfpack and their dangerous return crew inside their own 30-yard line. So now this is the worst starting position that the Wolfpack have had. They've had the ball a couple times inside the 30. They started the last drive about their own 45, this time inside their own 30.
The crowd wants to get in it. No mistaking that. They are here in force tonight.
Henzo at quarterback.
Hard count, nobody jumps. Henzo bootlegs to his left, fires one, throws one, has a man open. Oh, great play out there if there's no flags. And it was a great play. Wow.
Henzo's pass is incomplete to the receiver, number 4, Sean Allen.
Yeah, Sean Allen, the sophomore speedster, over there runs at 11,400 meters, but well covered over there by Cameron Williams.
Sure was.
Who is, again, heading to the University of Washington next year.
Down and 10.
So good ball by Henzo. He put it in a spot where only Sean could get it, but the coverage was pretty darn tight.
They stay on the ground this time. Nice run.
And on to number 6, Elijah.
And Alexander Williams hops over Chris Elliott to get a few more yards, but it's still going to be about 3rd and 7, I would think. Yep, that's about it.
So watching the Drillers play defense the last couple weeks, the one play that was most effective against them was that stretch play or outside zone there, which Ridgeview just ran for a gain of about 4. That's now you say the most successful. It probably is average 4 yards a carry against them. But this defense is extremely stingy. Held Servite's offense without an offensive score, and Servite's rated number 15 in the top 15 in the state.
3rd and 6, Henzo all by himself back there. The Drillers bring 4, then they bring 5. Henzo buys some space, buys some time, floats one down there, and it's dropped.
Boy, that was Zion Hall dropping that ball, and we saw him drop a big one against Stockdale. He's typically got really good hands, and he jumped on a ball that was really low, and Carl Jones back there defending it. Carl Jones, the guy that I think last year played 6 different positions for Golden Valley. He's a guy that'd be a great coach someday with that kind of experience.
And Coach, frankly, he got turned around for a second, and I thought it was going to be a catch by Hall, but at the very last second, I mean the last millisecond, Carl got his hand in there just enough. That was really close to being a long first down for the Wolfpack, but instead it's 4th and 6. They'll punt, and back deep is Carl Jones.
Henzo might have been able to run for the first down on that one too, but he did see Zion Hall open. That's a smart play to throw it to the open guy.
Movement.
Penalty marker now.
This Driller team a couple years ago won the section championship on a very, very cold night up against Central. Then not long after that, I made the trek up to Sacramento area, up to Loomis, up there where that BHS team took on a powerhouse Northern California team. I remember that night like it was just yesterday, pouring down rain. Stayed up there the night and saw that next level of football when you get into those state playoffs, and this is what these
football teams at this caliber are looking for.
Yeah, and the Drillers are definitely looking to play those teams in the preseason week in and week out.
Good boot. Carl takes it at the 37-yard line, looking for some space, and he does not get it. Great job out there by Devin McKee with the tackle and the hustle. So it'll be 1st and 10 Drillers, 6.5 to go here in this first half.
So far, each side's coverage units have held up really well. We said that's big key in the game here because both sides have such good returners. So hats off to the special teams of Ridgeview on that one and the Drillers and their coverage units. All right. Drillers been real successful running the ball into that tackle over set, and it looks like they're in their regular flex set right now.
Elijah Lee way up top on the right side. Williams, the quarterback, steps, fumble, ball's on the ground, and it's picked up. Ridgeview football.
Well, you got Jolly in there. Jolly's their leading pass rusher.
Devin McKee picks it up. We just mentioned him, had a big tackle. Had the big tackle on the punt return and picks up the fumble. The 4th fumble by the Drillers. Ay.
So Jolly Burris, 6'1", 185, 11 sacks last year. Had 5 sacks coming into this game. That's sack number 6 for Jolly in only 4 games. And again, that Driller offensive line is not built for pass protection, and Jolly took advantage of it on that play. Now let's
1st and 10 Wolfpack, Coach.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, bud. Looking for some blocking. Oh, big contact. Big contact. Isaiah Jernigan laid the wood on Zion Hall.
Looked like helmet to helmet, but didn't get called. But that's been a good play. Zion's run the ball a couple times. He had the touchdown called back, but 7-yard gain on first down for Ridgeview. Probably their best first down play all game.
Big lick at the end. Henzo has Thompson behind him. They give it. No, this is Alexander Williams. Oh, strong run between the hash marks. And Alexander Williams pick up the first down, and starting to see a little bit of a sigh of relief from this Ridgeview crowd. Hey, we're moving the ball.
Yeah, and that's the kind of running they need from Alexander Williams, to put the cleats in the ground, put the pads down, grind out your runs, and finish it. So big first down for the Wolfpack. See if they can sustain the momentum.
6:08 and counting left in this first half. Henzo has Alexander Williams behind him. Sean Allen out here on the far right side. Hard count, nobody jumps. Alexander Williams just fighting for yards, and he drags Moreno with him for 5 yards, and that's no easy task to drag Moreno anywhere. Woo.
Again, the Wolfpack showing some signs of life here, picking up 4 yards on first down. That's what they want to do. Grind it out. Great job running there by Elijah Alexander Williams.
Titus Yepes, number 58. Another big lineman for this Ridgeview Wolfpack. 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. And some really good, strong, patient running by Alexander Williams. He took his time, used his vision, and found those extra yards. Very close to a first down.
Looks like he's coming off limping a little bit. Put his left cleat in the ground and made that good cut there.
5 yards on the play. 3rd down.
They'll move Sean Allen now, I think, to the tailback spot.
In the slot, Zion Hall. 3rd and 1. Oh, they went for the hard count, and I don't think I know the communication didn't get passed along because 2 Wolfpack players jumped, and that'll make it 3rd and 6. Yikes.
Boy, Anthony Ramirez, one of those. Over there, tight end with huge big play potential, but hasn't seen a ball tonight.
As we said, now it's back to 3rd and 6, under 5 to go in the half. Drillers lead 14-0. Very good first half as far as seeing who's got what and who can use what. King Ellis, one of the all-time great first names, out on the far left side. A little bit of communication problem there, and that did not work well. Sean Allen gobbled up, and now all of a sudden it's 4th and 9. Ugh.
Field goal kick from here would be right at about 40 yards. They went wide left from 42. Looks like Manning's going to go for it here on 4th and 8.
Never know, it might go for a hard count, make it shorter.
Yeah, you really got nothing to lose there. Ridgeview's got 2 timeouts left. You go hard count and then maybe take a timeout, talk it over some.
Devontae Bell in there. They do. Nobody jumps. Henzo has a nice pocket, floats it out to the corner, and it is broken up, incomplete. No flags, so no score for the Wolfpack as they were moving the ball down the football field. I think everybody on this side at least thought something was going to go up on the scoreboard. It does not.
So Wolfpack has a 0 on the scoreboard. That is the 3rd time they've been inside the 20. No points to show for it. That is really brutal.
So now the Drillers, with 78 yards and 3 minutes and 50 seconds to work with, can dictate the terms here for the rest of this half. They can just keep moving the chains.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how aggressive they'll be. They tried to throw, got sacked.
A lot of fumbles.
Yeah, that veer is the safest play that they can run, and it's been successful. But if they want a big play, getting it out to the pitch has led to a fumble twice, but also big gains and a touchdown. They are in the tackle over set.
Williams keeps it.
So the veer back just goes through, and Williams tucks in right behind him. Big gain there for 5 yards.
Number 9, Anthony Ramirez with the tackle.
2nd and 5.
Yard gain. 2nd down.
Elijah Lee down here on the right side of your screen. Lower right corner. Man-to-man with DeGraffenried. Pitch. This time it's out here to Bonner. Bonner right below us. Tackled 1 yard past the first down marker. They get it.
Very well played and tackled by Taj Wright, but I think Taj might be down. He's at least slow getting up over here on the Ridgeview sideline.
2nd down out of bounds. Around the 33-yard line.
Getting looked at by the trainer, Marcus Level, down there.
Yeah.
Taj Wright with the stop.
Boy.
1st down, Drillers.
Looks like he's okay. 1st and 10, BHS at the Ridgeview 33-yard line. How aggressive will they be? Great question by Coach Cornford.
We saw Taj hurt that ankle against Stockdale. He was in a boot.
First play of
the
season.
Yeah, he finished that game out, but was in a boot all week before they played Liberty. And I don't know if that's the same ankle or not, but he's walking it off down there.
Clock stop here for a second. Officials talking it out. That'll give me a chance to remind everybody that the Kern High School District is so proud to remind everyone of the Achieve magazine. Daniel Viveros, state champion shot putter on the cover, already an award-winning magazine. More on that in a bit. 1st and 10 for the Drillers. Looks like Ridgeview's bringing everybody. A pitch. This time it's out to the far side. Jernigan looking for some room. Got some good blocking. Now Jernigan, flag over here. Flag over here. Oh, goodness. What's happening here? What in the world is happening down here below us? Elijah Lee.
I think he was probably matched up on DeGraffenried, but DeGraffenried playing press man-to-man on him, and I think he pushed him into the Gatorade bottle.
There are whistles. The line judge is having to call all of his officials back over here. I got to be honest with you, Kern County. I was looking at the play unfold on the far side, and then I see this in the bottom corner of my eye over here. Flags flying way down here by the Ridgeview bench, and Elijah Lee, the junior, number 11, was in a major tussle with DeGraffenried. He wears number 10. And he is told by the trainer, put your helmet on. So this is going to be an interesting call, Coach.
Well, it certainly happened while the play was still going on.
Absolutely.
I was watching Carl Jones block his tail off over there to set that thing off. You love that when your star athlete works that hard. And meanwhile, we had a Royal Rumble going on here by the Gatorade.
I mean, I got to tell you, Elijah Lee was down by the Gatorade buckets on his stomach with his helmet off behind the
Ridgeview bench.
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't out on the field, everybody. This is back by the cheerleaders.
Now, I saw Tony Baselli do that to Scotty Lewis of Baylor about 20-some years ago, where he drove him literally into the goalpost one time on a run play and drove him into the Gatorades on the sideline because Scotty had said that Tony was just a pass blocker. And I met Baselli a few years ago and talked about that, and so he filled me in on the beef that he had with Scotty Lewis, who was the Baylor captain.
Well, here comes the explanation. Coach Manning is going to hit it. And I've been doing this a long time. That's the first time I've seen that. I was completely flummoxed as to why all the action was down in my lower right corner of my eye. And make no mistake about it, Elijah Lee was not happy. He was letting everybody over there know that de Graffenried and he had a beef, so to speak. Here comes the white hat. Touchdown. Personal foul is going to be against Ridgeview and offsetting personal foul against BHS. So much ado about nothing.
So it looks like there was an extra unsportsmanlike on BHS, and that will be forced on the kickoff. So 2 for 1 there. And needless to say, Ridgeview is going to need to do something on that kickoff return to get themselves set up. They showed a few signs of life on offense till they jumped off sides there that last drive. But, for them to have to go any distance is going to be really tough against this Driller defense.
20-0, 2:59 remaining here in this half. A bizarre touchdown score. If that happens again, you just finish the touchdown call, and I'll try to figure out what's happening over here. I completely left the play. Here's the PAT. It's up, and it is good, 21-0. I need a break. We'll take one. Back right after this on Kern High Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile. And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM, and with access to over 30.
Welcome back, everybody. 2:59 remaining in this first half. 21-0 BHS. And they're going to get it at a good spot, Ridgeview will. Hey. Look at this.
That's Sean Allen, the sophomore. Great job attacking the seam right there, and that's what they needed. They needed to get the ball on Ridgeview side of the field, and because of that penalty, they're starting at the 40 with 2:52 to go. If they can get something rolling here, they can get back in this game.
Coach Manning having a discussion with Henzo and Taj Wright.
Yeah, when you got an athlete like Taj, if you're not going to use him at quarterback, split him out wide or do something, because whoever's covering him has got a tough job. And he's in at quarterback.
Henzo plays tight end. Sean Allen behind Taj. They trail 21-0 with 2:52 remaining here in this first half. Handoff goes to Sean Allen, but there's more to that play than meets the eye. Now all of a sudden, you've got a defense that's having to watch out for that quarterback, and so that wasn't as quickly of an attack.
Yeah, and Justin Henzo's dad played defensive line for me, so he's got a little lineman blood in him.
That, and you're pretty old.
Yes, sirree.
Kevin, you wanted to say it, but I've got the microphone, so I did. 2nd and 7. Right. Play action, bootleg. Can run it, makes one good move, tucks it, looks to get outside and does. So now all of a sudden, this crowd's starting to say, yep.
So BHS's defense is built on speed, and usually that's a deciding factor because their defensive linemen are faster than the opponent's quarterback. But that is not the case right now with Taj Wright in at quarterback. He's going to be much faster, much more athletic than anybody they've got on that defensive line, and you may not get blocked, but tackling him is still going to be a huge chore.
Boy, Wolfpack could really use a score here before the half. They get the ball in the third quarter to start it. Sean Allen behind Taj Wright. Everybody packed in here tight, Coach. Wright keeps it. Stays on his feet and just gets more and more positive yards. They say he went out at the 20. But boy, that's a good run.
Well, and I think Ridgeview's found something that's working. Standard, organized football, wasn't enough to move the ball in the drillers, but you put the joker in the deck, and all of a sudden, wild things happen.
What an asset. Henzo comes in, calls the play, and then moves to tight end.
Yeah, you got how many quarterbacks would be willing to do that? That says a lot about him.
And Coach Gola is feeling what we're seeing, and he calls a timeout with 2:03 remaining here in the first half. Drillers up 21-0. Coach, let's talk a little Renegade football, BC Renegade football. Tomorrow, our Renegades will be hosting El Camino, long-time rival, up at Memorial Stadium, high atop the Dameron deck. I look forward to calling that game with my buddy Kenny Calvin. Saw you down at Covina District Field. What a great idea. 3 different high schools use that superb facility. Called that Cornford name a couple times, couple of really heads-up plays by your son. Your thoughts for the Renegades so far?
Well, it was exciting. Obviously watching my son play college football out there, being part of that Renegade tradition, which is so important to this town. And, I'm anxious to see it. Obviously, that Mount Sac team was really, really good.
Nava's something else, huh, that quarterback?
Oh, yeah. He was very accurate. Their timing was really sharp. The Renegades struggled at times on offense, but really did some good things too.
We ran the ball pretty well, though. We had some nice stuff happening. Special teams looked good. Nice to have Carson Olivas' leg to flip-flop that field. So tomorrow night, 6 p.m., Renegades hosting El Camino, Tailgate Central, 2nd and 3. Allen with the carry right up the middle, and he gets the first down on the 15-yard line, under 2 minutes to go.
Looks like Elijah Alexander-Williams coming back in, probably to spell Sean Allen. Elijah's a little bit bigger. Sean Allen maybe a little bit quicker. So it's a pretty good thunder and lightning combination right there. And Ridgeview's in no hurry with about 2 minutes left and 2 timeouts still in their pocket.
Right. If nothing else, they want to end the half with the ball in their hands.
DeGraff and Reed up top with just man-to-man coverage, something you won't see too often.
Alexander Williams, a lot of time being spent to get this play set up. Taj Wright sees what he likes. There was movement, no call. Wright, and a flag on top of all of that. So Jesse Cruz moved. There was no flag, but a hold. So here we go again. They stubbed himself in the toe and have to move back, Coach.
Yeah, and again, it's with the way the Drillers play defense with that slanting style, if your footwork aren't real good, you end up reaching for them. And when you're reaching for them and your hands get outside the core of your body, you're going to get holding calls. And that's gotten Ridgeview several times already tonight.
Replay, first down.
You got 2 guys in that defensive secondary that have verbaled to Pac-12 schools. You got another guy in that secondary that's got offers from Pac-12 schools. You're basically going against a Pac-12 level secondary over there. So throwing the balls in these situations is extremely dangerous.
Clock is now racing towards the minute mark. $1:11 and counting. Wright bootlegs back across his body, flings it to the corner, and no flags anywhere, but a huge hit. Jacob Zimet leveled Taj Wright. And Zimet, the senior outside linebacker, 6'2", 200 pounds. Jacob just keeps getting bigger and bigger and stronger and faster. And he lowered the boom on Taj, and he's still bent over.
Yeah, Taj hurting himself a little bit on that tackle last time they were on defense, and then absorbing a blow there. I think he's looking to come out of the game if possible. But, boy, a minute left in the half. DeGraffenried comes in. Taj comes out, I think. I know Taj splitting out as a receiver.
Nobody on him.
He's on Carl Jones on him now.
Hard count by Henzo. Henzo drops back, has time, steps out of the pocket. Now he's in big trouble. Big trouble. The ball stripped out. The ball stripped. Oh, the ref's going to call. Oh, boy. Coach Gola can't believe it either. I didn't hear a whistle, Coach. Did you hear a whistle?
I did not hear a whistle before. It looked like it was stripped out. Momentum definitely looked like it was stopped. Devontae Bell there with the strip. And,
woof. The white hat was on it and said it's right there, but didn't blow the maybe I didn't hear it. Ay. All of a sudden, it's 2nd and forever.
Yeah.
And the Wolfpack were 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Yeah, so that'll be the 4th time inside the 20. Now, you know, Henzo in that situation, he's got to put the ball up. He can't absorb a sack of that magnitude in that situation. He's got some guys that can go and get it. He's got DeGraffenried on one side, Taj on the other, Zion Hall.
And they won't get the play off. They don't.
I think they forgot about the game clock.
Ball starting against the Wolfpack.
So Hail Mary time.
Yeah, they'll get one play. The band needs to hold up. Hold up. Is that the Stanford band?
If you're the trombone player, watch out. All right, well, Henzo's got a strong arm. The deal will be how much protection can he get here. You know, I think this is a case where if I'm Coach Manning, I probably max protect with everybody but Taj and DeGraffenried and just send them out, making sure that my quarterback can at least get the ball launched.
Well, and you have Jacob Zimet, who just got a piece of Taj. So the Drillers are probably being at the very least 3 up front.
Yeah, and those wide guys are real wide, going to come off the edge. Makes it tough for an offensive tackle to get out there to him. One thing you could see here is if they do play off, you throw it short to Taj and see if he's got some magic left in him.
Well, that's it. The end of the quarter, they started the clock, and they never had a play. So
anticlimactic.
That's that. So 21-0 at the half. We will step away for a few moments, and you will be enjoying the Ridgeview Wolfpack Marching Band. We'll be back with the third quarter on the Kernheim Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile. And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Drum majors, the Vanguard ready to dazzle and delight the audience. Here they are, your Wolfpack Vanguard.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile. And I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special. One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile.
And I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations in Bakersfield and 1 in Shafter.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile. And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activity, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people on my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs. Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it helped prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class, so they can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant right out of high school.
It's always hands-on, and so I think that's what really helps us, is that we're not just getting it from a textbook, we're actually doing these things, and we're actually practicing these things that we'll be doing in our future careers.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to...
Welcome back, everybody. We're just finishing up halftime festivities. Nice job, the Ridgeview Wolfpack Marching Band. Kevin, thank you. Capturing that while Rich and I are able to kind of wax nostalgia with the sports editor of Bakersfield, California, and he popped up here and had a nice chat with Teddy about all things football right now. It is that time of the year. Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, BHS has hit some big plays, been able to survive multiple turnovers, and for Ridgeview, red zone offense needs to be worked on a little bit. 4 times inside the 20, 0 points.
For the Drillers, I was listening into your conversation with the editor. One of the most salient points I took out of that first half is you mentioned it kind of like on the side. It was kind of an off comment that I took, but it was just so thoroughly comprehensive of this Driller football team. Man, they are tough to plan for.
Extremely tough. Again, their offense and their defense both are completely unique. You will not play another team this season that runs those systems. So trying to get your scout team players to mimic what they do, plus the athletes they have on top of it, is nearly impossible. So the speed of the game when you play the Drillers, at least for that, first half, first quarter, is totally different than you're used to. And there's that feeling out process you got to catch up to.
If you're Coach Manning, what did you tell the Wolfpack at halftime?
Well, offensive line's got to seal each of those gaps. We've seen the Drillers been able to get penetration on the Ridgeview offensive line and wreak havoc. Now, the last 2 series, the Drillers have given up some yards to the Wolfpack, running some stretch plays, mixing things up, putting Taj in at quarterback, running the ball. But, they're in a situation with the secondary the Drillers have where if you get one offsides penalty, one holding penalty during a drive, you're basically toast because it's virtually impossible to throw on this defense.
If you're Coach Gola, what'd you tell those Drillers?
I'm telling Drillers, hang on to the football, right? Protect the football. They've dropped it at least 4 times. Ridgeview's taken advantage of those with long run backs, but they haven't put the ball in the end zone. But if the Drillers just hang on to the football, they're going to be awful tough to beat. If they turn it over 4 times in the second half, Ridgeview's got a shot.
I want to thank the United States Army for their immense, strong relationship with the Kern High School District, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Motor City. Thank you, especially for that Motor City Minute everybody's starting to love. And, of course, Tony's Pizza. We will have a Tony's Pizza player of the game. But right now, get dialed in here for this third quarter. I'm Vance Palm, Rich Cornford next to me, Miguel and Kevin up top as we bring the third quarter into play right now.
Chris Thompson and Sean Allen back deep. Sean Allen's had a really good return on the last one. Chris Thompson returned one last week for a touchdown to open the second half versus Frontier in a game that at that time Ridgeview was trailing 14-13.
Long kick, long boot, and it is into the end zone. And that'll take care of that.
And you love it when you've got a kicker that can do that against the return guys like Ridgeview has.
And Torres does not take a big, long run at the ball. He doesn't do, the patented orthodox 6 or 7 steps. He's got about 4 steps in him, and then boom.
Yeah, low line drive. Fortunate to get that one in the end zone because if those don't get in the end zone, they get run back pretty well. But that got over their heads and in the end zone. And Ridgeview, again, starting from way back in their territory.
All right. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Looks like Taj Wright will be the QB. Alexander Williams behind him. That's Elijah Alexander Williams. Hard count movement on the right side by Zion Hall. So the hard count by Taj Wright was so good that he got one of his own guys.
And here you go, 1st and 15, and that's what really stalled Ridgeview's drives before is these penalties because it's so hard to get consistent yardage against this Driller defense. You can't give them bonus.
Bobbled on the handoff, and that just spells trouble, and Elijah Alexander Williams gets nothing but pushed backwards. So on a 1st and 15, it's now going to be a 2nd and 20.
That was that outside zone scheme that I had said in the first half is pretty effective against this Driller defense, but they had about 3 guys there to make the tackle on that. So you try the hard count, you jump offside, you go on one every time, and the Drillers will kill you. So you got to keep mixing up snap counts here. But boy, you got to remain disciplined.
Miguel, we've gone from gnats to flying beetles. I don't know if that was Paul or Ringo, but it got me in the neck. 2nd and 18. Draw play. Taj Wright, nothing doing. Who was right there in the middle? Who do you think? Zymet.
Yeah, this Driller defense is experienced. It's loaded with speed up front. These guys are, wrecking havoc in the backfield there. Seth Morin, a guy that we've seen play both ways, offensive tackle, defensive line, a guy that's got a motor that won't quit. He's really been the key to their offense, too, with playing that unbalanced tackle. Chris Elliott, another returning starter in there. All these guys getting in the backfield against this Ridgeview line that has really got to pick it up.
Elliott's 5'8", 150, number 14 right here on the left side of your screen. Here's 3rd and 24, so Ridgeview starting the third quarter off deep in their own territory. Right, 3 receivers way out to his left. Looks left, again, thinks about, look out, he's in trouble. Can he get out? He cannot. He tries to throw the football, and he's in trouble. And everybody looking at the officials, they're going to say incomplete pass. Oh, boy.
They are very fortunate not to get an intentional grounding call there.
Well, he's obviously a dominant southpaw. Tried to put that in his right hand and fling it. They had a receiver in the area somewhat.
Ramirez did a good job of continuing to come back towards that football, which was about 15 yards short of him. Maybe prevented that from being called a safety.
Hey, Coach, how about the stamp of authority this Driller defense put on this first possession for the Wolfpack?
Boy, discouraging for the Wolfpack when you think you're going to make some halftime adjustments. We'll come out here, we'll fix a few things, and you go backwards 20 yards.
Now you've got Carl Jones standing inside the 50-yard line. Bobbled, and it's nicked. The punt is nicked. So a bobbled snap, and the ball is down at the Ridgeview 38-yard line. So it's gone from difficult to near dire. After the first series for the Wolfpack, they trail by 3 touchdowns, and now the Drillers are going to get the ball at the 38-yard line. Wow.
So, yeah, and again, if you're the Wolfpack, you're fortunate that you got that punt off with the low snap and the bobble there, and you got a good roll. But now this defense got to see if they've adjusted to that tackle overset. And it looks like they're in a regular flex set here. See this with Air Force and the Naval Academy and Army a lot, this formation.
Ball's out here to the near side. Oh, wow. He stalled, put the brakes on, and then took off again. Touchdown, Isaac Jernigan. No flags. That is going to be on the Motor City Minute.
Boy, impressive use of his blocking there. Jernigan, little Walter Payton there where he kind of slowed down and then sped back up through the timing of DeGraffenried off, who's an awful good defender. We've seen DeGraffenried make a couple touchdown saving tackles earlier tonight. But that move just threw DeGraffenried's timing off, and BHS couldn't ask for a better start than this.
Well, that was just something else. He pretty much slowed down, took a look at everything, and said, I'm gone. I'm out of here. And then he dove into the end zone. That's a beautiful highlight.
Pretty
27.
Nice when you're compared to Walter Payton on anything.
The PAT is good. That was Isaac. That's the junior, Isaac Jernigan, with a beautiful touchdown run. So it didn't take long for the Drillers to capitalize on a really bad first possession of the third quarter, and all of a sudden it's 27-0.
And we saw this happen to Ridgeview a couple weeks back with the Liberty game, a game where early on they maybe had a chance. They had a touchdown called back in that game like they've had called back in this game, and then momentum kind of got against them, and all of a sudden Liberty rolls out to a 38-0 win in a game that most people thought was going to be really close.
Yeah, I did.
BHS, Sean Allen, and Chris
that one looks like Ringo. Just underway here in the third quarter, and the Drillers all over the Wolfpack. Torres this time actually going to move it back. He's going to take a big whack at it now. That probably is going to go out of bounds. No, they don't let it go out of bounds. Taken at the 12-yard line. And still on his feet is Chris Thompson.
So that kick actually worked out pretty well for the Drillers, staying in bounds there, pinning him against the sideline.
Yeah. Well, Coach, now you've got Dennis Manning, head coach for the Wolfpack, talking to Taj Wright to send him in with the play. And they trail 28-0.
Well, and in most cases you say, hey, our offensive line averages 240 up front. Their defensive line probably averages 210. You just grind the ball at them. But you can't do that with the Drillers because just the way they penetrate and attack. I mean, it looks soft in the middle here, but it's not.
Zion with the sweep out to the far side, and he picks up about 5 or 6 yards. And personally, that's what I think the Wolfpack need to work on, just grinding some stuff out right now. That's just me, just grinding some stuff out on the ground.
Well, and that play, that fly sweep with Zion Hall getting his speed out to the edge, that's been the only play that consistently has gained them 5 yards plus. The one time it went for a touchdown but got called back to a hold. But every time they've run that, they've been successful. So maybe take a page out of the Drillers book and keep running it until they adjust to it.
Picked up 7 on it. Anthony Ramirez giving instruction to Zion. Now Anthony, better get down. Right, bootlegs. They read it quickly. And incomplete pass. I'll tell you what, Chris Elliott and Jacob Zimet, every time Taj bootlegs around this side or even that side, they are just on him.
Well, and they work so well together. You know, the simultaneous pursuit there. Taj rolling to his right, and he's a left-hander. You know, he couldn't get his shoulders around to make that throw, but there was nowhere for him to escape, and that doesn't happen very often with Taj Wright.
Incomplete pass, stops the clock, 3rd and 3. Wright jogs the play in. Coach Manning smiling. I have just an immense amount of respect for both these coaches and their staffs. And he's down 28-0. He's sending his quarterback in, a little bit of a grin. High snap. And a run for maybe a yard. Alexander Williams, maybe a yard, and I would think that Ridgeview's possibly going to just keep going for it, Coach. 4th and 1.
Well, again, you're at that stage where your chances of winning aren't great, but if you've got any chance, you need to keep possession of this football. So 4th and 1, look for them to maybe come back with Zion Hall with that play out wide, or we'll see.
Well said. Oh, ball on the ground, fumble. Oh, boy, and this time it's Isaiah Jernigan all over it, so Taj Wright discombobulated.
Boy, no chance on that play with the mess up there in the backfield.
That was one thing that could not happen, and it did.
Didn't even give themselves a chance there.
Ball will be marked at the 28-yard line. 1st down, Drillers.
So the Drillers will take over on the 28-yard line of Ridgeview.
So this Ridgeview defense now been on the field a lot here.
Yeah, you know what? You just read my mind, Coach. Just read my mind exactly. They have been pushed to the limit, and there's a lot of time left. Bonner in the game. A pitch to Bonner. Defense does a great job out there. Zach Pierce makes the tackle.
Old Texas right there, penetrating into the backfield. And, you know, when they've got that penetration, that's when they've caused turnovers themselves. So they're trying to take a page out of the Drillers' book. Just haven't been as consistent at it as the Drillers have been.
And that front 4 or 5 for Ridgeview is going to be a very formidable foe as the season starts to unfold. Tonight, they're up against juggernaut offense of this Drillers. Cam Williams right behind center now. Wants to throw, rolls to his left. Back to his left again, still free. tosses one out here, and Cam Williams doing the smart thing. Didn't have anything but tossed it.
Yeah, I think, I think we're consistent here. We're not going to call intentional grounding on either team.
Well, I think what they're going to say is Elijah Lee was, they will.
There they
did.
went.
Oh,
the way, the way he just barely popped it over there. Didn't, this isn't the NFL where if you get outside the pocket and throw it past the line of scrimmage, that rule's not in effect. That ball didn't get past the line of scrimmage anyway. But, he didn't put a whole lot of effort into the throw and didn't really sell the throw away.
He's talking to the white hat, trying to explain his side of it, but the official not having any of it.
Now, in this situation, I got to believe that you're going to see probably the veer option here, just handing off to the fullback and punting. Again, when your linemen are in a 4-point stance, they're not built for great pass protection. We've seen Ridgeview get some pressure on him. He's in the pistol.
3rd and 13. Whistles fly, and there was movement.
Yeah, they're going for that tunnel screen to Carl Jones again, which is a good call in that situation. Yeah, Carl Jones is one of those guys, if you press up on him, he's going to run by you. If you play off him, he's going to make you miss. So a nightmare to defend. He's being defended right now by another sophomore for Ridgeview, King Ellis. So a tough task for a sophomore to defend, and King is going to press him. So this might be an automatic for BHS to go after the sophomore.
3rd and 37, ball right below us. Ball's batted away. Nice job out there. Good job by Jolly Burris. That ball was going nowhere. So Ridgeview holds.
Down by number 22, Jolly Burris.
It's like Jolly could have caught that and took off with it, man.
Yeah, thrown like a bullet from about 3 yards out. But good play by Jolly to make himself tall there and get in the passing lane.
Chris Thompson back to receive the punt.
Ridgeview with some of the best first names so far this year. Zion, Jolly, King, Maximus. Some good stuff, Kevin. A rare punt for the Drillers, very rare. Bounces at the 30. And not a bad punt for Carl Jones.
Yeah, directional punt. Last week saw him do a real strange thing where they're in a weird formation back there. He's got somebody right next to him in that punt formation. But on 4th and long from inside their own 20, they faked it, and he ran it. And he didn't get it. So, again, and they gave up an onside kick last week. They gave up some long kickoff returns. But for the most part, their special teams tonight have been pretty solid, though they gave up one solid return to Sean Allen on a kickoff. But no home runs given up yet.
1st and 10, their own 28-yard line. I would imagine it's got to happen right now. They've got to do something now. They start on the left hash. Nice strong run by Elijah Alexander Williams. Not forget, everybody, he's a junior.
Yeah, had about 700 yards rushing for him last year. One thing I noticed when the Ridgeview put Taj out wide, BHS double covered him. What that could do for you is you keep putting Taj out wide, and that takes one more defender out of the box and maybe allows you to start running the football a little better than you have been.
2nd and 4. Stay on that left hash.
Alexander Williams.
Alexander Williams doesn't get anything. Maybe one.
Jacob Simon with a stop.
All right, so down 28 points to the Drillers, 6 minutes to go.
3rd and 3, Coach.
Yeah, running out of options. When you look at the guys who you got to throw against, I'm thinking you're going to have to find a way to run the ball here.
Or try to find Anthony Ramirez, the tight end. That's nothing. It's going to be trouble right there. They try to strip him, but that's Jacob Simon. And Chris Elliott again.
And Ridgew's trying to mix it up with the play calls, but it's almost as if BHS has the playbook.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so well trained with the reaction skills to get to where the ball's going. I mean, it's really impressive what they've done on defense last year. Saw Paramount have some success throwing the ball on them, hitting some shorter routes with some timing throws. But Ridgeview has not been able to get the passing game going at all tonight.
4th and 7 means they'll punt. Carl Jones deep on the 40, his 40. Low snap. And they're going to say he went down on his knee to get it. Oh, gosh.
I did not think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Did he go down on his knee? I know he went down a little bit, but
they got it, and there's no argument from Fabian or the coaching staff, so he had to go down low to get it. Kind of scooped it up like a shortstop, but his knee was on the ground. Punt nullified. 1st and 10 Drillers at the Ridgeview 17-yard line. Things going south quickly for the Wolfpack.
When it rains, it pours.
Boy, oh boy.
And, no team seems to make it pour like that, like the Drillers. They just cause you to make mistakes, and then they just pounce on you when you do.
First down, Drillers.
All right, tackle over set. What we saw in the first half run successfully. Watch for the veer coming to the left here. Good
Cam
backside
hangs on
pursuit.
to it. Yeah, nice job. Nice tackle out there by Anthony Ramirez. Justin Spain-Howard in on the play. Dip below the 5-minute mark now.
Yeah, the Ridgeview defense has actually done a lot of really good things. They've made them work for it. They've created turnovers, but the offense just not being able to generate much of anything has kept them on the field. Now they're losing the battle of field position, and the points are starting to add up.
2nd and 11. Williams in the shotgun. And a timeout called by the Drillers. We'll take one too. You're watching the Kern High Network. Right now it's the Drillers 28-0 back right after this.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Down and 11.
Welcome back after the timeout. 2nd and 11. The ball is at the Ridgeview 18-yard line.
Got an empty pistol set here.
Williams drops back, has some time, has space, can run it, decides to step out of bounds, and he has that ability to, that saying, men amongst boys, that phraseology, if you will, where he's just so calm, cool, and collected. He was just jogging to the sidelines. 3 Wolfpack players coming at him, and they knew they weren't going to get him. He just kind of trots off the sidelines.
A very comfortable 4.5 40, I would say, where it looks so easy for him. He doesn't sweat the small stuff, that's for sure.
The coaching staff from Washington watching, saying, that's very smart. Thank you, get out of bounds. That's what we're hoping for right there. 1st and goal from the 7. Williams behind center. Looks way out to the far side of his receiver. One-on-one coverage out there. Takes his time. Handoff right up the middle. It is a touchdown. Nobody touches Wesley Wilson. I think even the Driller crowd didn't even know that Wilson was in yet. That was so clean and so quiet of a touchdown.
Yeah, that's the hot knife through butter routine right there. Just Ridgeview looked a little bit stunned there. That run hit a little bit tighter. They've typically been going off tackle. That one hit right in between the guard center gap. and Ridgeview not expecting it.
Nick Torres has at the extra point.
Interesting to see if we're going to end up with a running clock here if this extra point is made.
Bobbled. Something's going to have to happen. Well, it's Cam, so something can. Steps back and throws it over to the referee with his left hand like, here you go, buddy. We don't want running clock yet. 34 to nothing. Want to take just a moment and say thank you to Dean Brian Schaefer, the superintendent of the Kern High School District, the deputy superintendent Scott Cole, associate superintendent Brenda Lewis, associate superintendent Dean McGee, associate superintendent Mike DeSolfa, our board of trustees, the president Philip Peters, the vice president J. Brian Beatty, clerk Joey O'Connell, clerk pro tem Jeff Flores, and the member Mike Williams, to our director of School Support Services for the Kern High School District, Stan Green. And would you look who's still in this photo, the team photo, Kyle Wiley.
Kyle Wiley is probably at the Centennial versus Rigetti game tonight. His old alma mater, Rigetti, coming into the Central section this year and playing the Golden Hawks. We should ask Kyle for a score update.
Nick Torres at the kickoff for BHS. Chris Thompson and Sean Allen to receive Warner Wolfpack.
Here's the kickoff, 34-0 lead. Taken at the 5-yard line by Thompson. Oh, hit hard. Big contact up there. Adrian Moreno. Oof.
Good coverage by the Drillers. Impressed with Sean Allen on that one. He's not the guy that caught the ball, but he busted his tail to throw a block for Chris Thompson. But again, good coverage overall for the Drillers tonight.
Had a chance to head up to Highland High School the other day for some volleyball, watch some BHS volleyball. Saw the football team up there practicing. Boy, just being on the Highland campus, you stretch it from the northeast over here to the southeast, or the southwest, I would say. Northwest a couple weeks ago at Liberty, just being all over this county, calling these games and watching this excitement. Felt great to be up at Highland High School the other night.
Good volleyball town.
Confusion, Taj Wright, nobody there to hand off to. They're all over him. Can he get rid of it? He needs to. Flings it out. That could be trouble. And it is over at the medical tent for the Drillers. Got rid of it, but he was on the run the moment that there was no one to hand it off to.
We saw the last drive end on a little bit of confusion by the Ridgeview backfield there, and looked like somebody went the wrong way on that one too. Tough enough to beat these Drillers when everybody does go the right way. All right, so it's going to be second and long, a situation that Ridgeview is all too familiar with tonight.
I'm trying to get some scores, and it's not happening. 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Wright rolls to his strong side. His left side gets some good blocking. Stays on the ground.
Taj Wright with the keep.
Blanketed the coverage out there. There's just nobody open. It's tough. You need to keep some guys in to protect, but then these, and they can play you man to man, so they're consistently sending 5 and 6 guys at you in the rush. This Driller defense is, boy, I'm trying to think of a Driller defense that might have been better, and I'm having a tough time thinking of one.
The days of Asani Rufus. Taj Wright pulled up on the sideline, stopped, and it was right in front of Coach Goal, and said something to him, just, hey, Coach, how you doing? Coach just kind of patted him on the shoulder.
Coach
3rd and 10.
Goal's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, he sure is. Wright drops straight back, flings one. It is caught out there. A nice catch by Allen. Allen wrapped up, open field tackle by Jernigan, but he picks up the first down.
Yeah, again, great tackle by Jernigan. Good catch by Sean Allen out there. But again, the closing speed of these Drillers. And that's been about the most effective pass play tonight, I think, for Ridgeview. 10-yard gain.
3:40 and counting. 1st and 10, their own 36-yard line, right? On the run again, and he's in big trouble. Throws it, floats it out, and it's picked off. Intercepted, sitting there and waiting for it. Who else? What a game tonight for Adrian Moreno. He was waiting for it. Wright was in trouble, and instead of just swallowing it up, he tried to get rid of it, but trouble. And Moreno, I can see Kevin Willie. I know Kevin Willie. I know what he's thinking. He's already starting to lodge that into his memory for a possible Tony's Pizza player of the game. He's been one of many drillers tonight to have a fabulous game, and the defensive master, Adrian Moreno, with an interception.
Yeah, and again, the drillers just feed off of this environment there where they're forcing you into long yardage situations or your back is against the clock. You got to try and come back and throw. And throwing on these guys is a recipe for disaster.
1st and 10, handoff right up the middle. You got to be kidding me. Wesley Wilson, 2nd touchdown in as many carries, not even touched. No flags.
And again, Ridgeview defense who's been playing pretty stout most of the night though, but these last 2 plays, they look stunned.
Whoa. He may have been nicked at the line of scrimmage, but after about 2 steps, it was over, Coach. Not touched by anyone past the line of scrimmage.
I think they've gone to that midline, or what we used to call a freeze option look there, where you are attacking right up the gut, and the quarterback reads that play side D tackle. If he doesn't pinch down, you give it, and you can hit some home runs that way.
The PAT is good. 3:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter, but it's 41-0 Bakersfield High School. We will be back right after this on the Kern High Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special. One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM. So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
There are over 100 places to get pizza in Kern County, but only 4 are good enough to be called Tony's. So what's the Tony's Pizza difference? We're not giving away our secrets, but the proof is in the pizza. Tony's Spicy Mexicana, the mouth-watering Hawaiian, the award-winning Chili Verde, and so many more. Trust us, you'll find your favorite. If you want great pizza, you can play the numbers game, or you can get it right the first time. Tony's Pizza, 3 locations.
Well, that Tony's Pizza looks good. Miguel, don't run that spot again unless you're prepared to go grab one for us. Long kick taken at the 5-yard line.
Again, good coverage by the drillers, holding them to the 30-yard line. If I'm kicking deep to Ridgeview, I count that as a win for my kickoff coverage unit.
Devontae Bell with the tackle.
This Ridgeview kickoff return team has got a lot of opportunities tonight. Kind of saw that happen to me yesterday too. You know.
Give us hold on. Give us a Wolfpack Frostoff update from last night.
Well, it was close for a half, and then all of a sudden the floodgates opened and the drillers rolled us. They got us 48-8. So I know firsthand that calling plays against this defense is tough.
Henzo to Zion, and he's still on his feet, and he grabs about 5 yards.
I think Zion's got to be leading the team in rushing on about 5 carries for about 25 yards.
Taj over here with his helmet off, just kind of soaking it all in.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah, he and Chris Thompson kind of having a chat with the head coach of the JV team. Wolfpack JV team got a win tonight, 7-6. Henzo, quick throw out here to the near side, dropped. And Sean Allen dropped it, couldn't even take off with it.
Well, that brings me back to one of the early plays in this game with Dalen DeGraffenreid dropping a screen pass right in the chest, or fumbling it after catching it. was a big turning point in the game when Ridgeview had the ball inside the 20.
You're right, Coach, you're right. If you're just getting to us, the score's 41-0. This game started with Ridgeview kicking off, and on the Drillers' first play from the line of scrimmage, a fumble, and the Wolfpack had it at about the 14-yard line, and then they fumbled, and then even after a couple of other miscues from the Drillers, they started to click, and it's been over. Henzo fires, caught. Really nice pitch and catch out there to Dalen DeGraffenried. And you think about it, Rich, how many other teams would these Wolfpack be playing, and we wouldn't be just continually saying the name DeGraffenried, Taj Wright, all of these players and all of these tools. But it speaks volumes to the level of defense of this Driller squad.
Yeah, those guys are usually mismatches week in and week out, but against the Drillers, it's tough to find an opening for them.
Stretch the play out this side and then back to the middle. The running play out there by King Ellis, the sophomore.
King showing some good energy.
Sure.
Hey, I do have a couple scores for you.
Yes.
Santa Maria 35, Golden Valley 24. Just entering the fourth quarter there. And then Centennial 24, Rigetti 21.
Oh, what a nice game.
So a couple of the new teams in the Central section coming over from Santa Maria playing us.
Centennial looking to go 4-0, Coach.
How about them apples?
Ellis, nice strong run right between the hash marks, and he picks up the first down.
Some positive signs for the Ridgeview offense for the first time in a while. They put a couple first downs back to back. They've been plagued with turnovers and negative yardage plays.
4-yard gain on the play, first down. Wolfpack.
Going to enter the fourth quarter now.
That'll do it. 41-0 for 3 quarters of action. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this on KernHighNetwork.com.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
For me, it's all about the mobile, and I still do everything online or through the ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Quarter about to start right now. 41-0. It's been all Drillers tonight. Ridgeview's had pockets, moments of opportunity, but it's been big-time BHS. They start off with a pitch and catch out here to DeGraffenried.
Pass is complete to DeGraffenried.
And it is running clock, so although he's out of bounds, clock continues to tick here. So unless it's timeouts, it's going to run.
So and the Drillers have put some second string guys in there to give them some good reps. Ridgeview starting to move the ball a little bit more. Ridgeview needs some positive things to happen.
Henzo hands the ball. Ellis looking to get to the side and shoved out at about the 19-yard line, right around the 20. Boy, King is a quick guy, man.
Yeah, he's got that quick burst.
Yeah.
His top end speed is okay, but his burst is extraordinary. Another sophomore for him, one of that super sophomore group here at Ridgeview.
Number 25. First and 10, Driller 19-yard line. Henzo to King Ellis. This time cuts back up against the grain, goes down about the 15-yard line.
Taken out by number 17, Jacob Spears. 4-yard gain.
Well, I know what Ridgeview next week has Clovis North coming to town. They're going to need to regroup, and anytime you got a school with the word Clovis in it, it's going to be a pretty well coached and good football team. So Manning likes to play tough preseason, get them ready for the South Yosemite League.
Ellis, big hit on the right hash.
Hand it off once again to Ellis.
Blaney Abbott, is that number 4 that made that hit?
Tripped up by Blaine Abbott.
Yeah. Woo. Mark downstairs said tripped up. He was popped.
3rd down.
3rd and 3.
All right, probably see what kind of matchup DeGraff Reed has out here. And
yeah.
Keep pounding it with Ellis.
Zion looks to get in the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Ridgeview. Zion Hall.
And no flag on the play this time as Zion enters the end zone for the 4th time this year. He's the leading scorer for the Ridgeview Wolfpack, averaging a touchdown a game as a sophomore.
Touchdown, Wolfpack.
Fabian in attempt the extra point. End zone hole.
Fumbled. Henzo has it. Floats one out there, and it is up and incomplete.
Boy, snaps on special teams been a little bit of a problem. We saw that
both teams
take a knee on the one snap on accident, and then that one leading to a failed pass attempt. Clock continues to run with the running clock once the team's up 35 points in the 4th quarter.
Nice breeze starting to blow through Kern County. I think I can see the Padre from here.
I haven't seen the mountains in quite a while.
Yeah, with this hot summer and the fires, now this breeze starting to roll through here. Wow, does that feel nice.
Fabian King does the kickoff for the Wolfpack.
Look at the hands on Miguel, the track star with the gloves.
Keeping the gnats off us.
By the way, Miguel, it has been mentioned to me by a few prominent people in the community how fortunate you actually are to be next to number 24 at Arvin in the Achieve magazine. I mean, if you really think about it, you look at all these great athletes in this Achieve magazine, and
wow, look at the form on that jump shot.
You see the perfect form of number 24, Arvin Bear. I mean,
page 93.
Steph Curry is wanting to know where that form of that shooter is, but right next to him, look at the grimacing work of Miguel Garcia, East Bakersfield High School class of 2016.
That looks like the tail end of the 400 meters there. 400 meter
good.
relay.
Looking good, Miguel. All right, here we go. Nice return out there by Jimmy Henry. Jimmy Henry's another name. Called him a lot last year. So with running clock, we're already at the 6:35 mark.
All right, and the drillers looking to give some reps to their twos on offense, some valuable experience in case somebody goes down. Ridgeview also has subbed some guys in defensively. I think that's important give these guys a shot in a game. You never know when you're going to need them.
And off the number 4, Blaine Abbott.
Vance is really enjoying the.
I didn't know I was in it. My
press.
daughter said, "Hey, Dad, did you know you're in this magazine?" And then, of course, that night I get to the game. I didn't know I was so perfectly placed next to the great Miguel Garcia. That makes it worth like.
And speaking of your girls, nice write-up in the paper this week on the two Palm girls dominating their BHS together.
Hey, what in the world? Ricky Eastwood Jr. down to the 20-yard line. A sophomore QB, 6'1", 190.
Chris Thompson had to jump on his horse to catch him there. Nice run for the sophomore.
Wow. So Ricky Easterwood Jr., 6'1", 190, sophomore quarterback, a 40-yard jaunt right down the middle of the football field.
We see both units with a lot of backups in right now, but every kid out there, I tell you, is competing their tail off. Good surge by the Bakersfield line.
Not too far away from league play for all the fall sports. Tonight, it's been big-time BHS, 41-6. Anybody able to get me a score on the Liberty game? I texted our man Rick Van Horn. He's calling the other game so intently. Him and Dr. Louis Amastoyakovich, they're not even giving me scores. What's up, Amastoy?
Rick's eyes are sharp, you know, with what he's looking at over there. I'm sure he's totally focused.
He's got his eyes on that field, and he's not even looking at his text. If I told him that I was buying him breakfast tomorrow morning, he would text back in about 4 seconds, man. On the east side, of all things, Miguel, I still have no score, nothing from Rick Van Horn. You checking the Twitter sphere? Here we go, 3rd and 1. Easterwood Jr. behind center. Looks like he might keep it and fall forward to get the first down. I think the tackle itself.
We have some more Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards for you. Make some noise if you want some gift cards.
All right, enough to move the chains there.
Sure did.
You know, and these kids on both sides have put a lot of time and work in. And, you know, Ridgeview's fighting for pride right now.
Buchanan, final 28-13. And Patriots go to Clovis next week, so Buchanan living up to the hype.
Boy, impressive. I really think football in the Valley is very good this year. Turnover.
Ooh, man.
Ridgeview coming out with the football there. Showing some guts there to keep plugging away, down 35 points.
And the Ridgeview crowd down 41-6, still amped up and fired up because whoever's the loudest is getting Buffalo Wild Wing gift certificates. Kevin, quiet down. Quiet, Miguel, keep it low. Quiet, guys.
Good strategy to keep the crowd in. It changed the momentum there. The Buffalo Wild Wing certificates brought the crowd to life, brought the defense to life.
Oh, movement.
A lot of frustration there on the Wolfpack offense.
False start on the Wolfpack. 140 and counting. Henzo wants to air it out, does air it out, has a man. Oh, what a catch by DeGraffenreid down to the 34-yard line. Wow, what a dart. And this Wolfpack team wants to score again. They are hustling down the field. Running clock, so it's 119 and counting. Oh, the dart, beautiful.
Those two, you know, spent a lot of time together last year. That was the main combination, Henzo to DeGraffenreid, and able to get behind the corner on that one. Good fingertip grab by Dalen.
1 minute exactly left. Henzo in trouble now, floats another one out there, throws this out, and that's a touchdown to DeGraffenreid. 2 long bombs, a 40-yarder and a 40-yarder. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and again, compete to the final whistle. So you got to respect that. There'll be one more play here with the extra point.
Goodness. We saw it a lot last year. And the junior quarterback, Justin Henzo, on the money again. This will be the last play of the game. Henzo wants to take it himself, and he does. And that'll finish the game. 41-14, so it ends up with somewhat of the Henzo DeGraffenried show at the end, but when it's all said and done, a 41-14 win for the Bakersfield High School Drillers. Before we give out our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game award, Coach, your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, very impressed with these Drillers, and their defense especially. Their offense obviously explosive, but defensively they really dictated this game. So that's my biggest takeaway, is just very impressed with the Drillers' defense.
As am I. I concur completely with you. Yes, a lot of offensive weapons on both sides of the ball, but, man, that game tonight was won right on the defensive side of the ball for the Drillers. Here we go. I want to thank the United States Army, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. We also want to thank Motor City, and, of course, Tony's Pizza. We're about to award our Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. Presentation is now underway. Kevin Willie, 1/3 of our vote.
I'm the small third. Well, I think
it's a third.
I like to go with the underdogs, and this is a great game for me to pick somebody because, like you guys said, it was defense all the way. I think Rich mentioned earlier in the game that Ridgeview did a really good job defending, and the converse. BHS did a good job of not letting their offense get anywhere. So I think I'm going with Zymet.
Wow, what a great pick. A great selection of Jacob Zymet. And, boy, he did have a really good game, number 28. And, Coach, I'll tell you what, I'll let you go. Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, your thought. That's a great call, Kevin. Jacob Zymet.
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that first impressed me watching some film of him earlier this week. And then watching him in person, Carl Jones. He went one-on-one with DeGraffenried, and, DeGraffenried's touchdown came late against the number 2 guy. But when Carl Jones was in there, he was able to shut him down. And then offensively, he made explosive plays. And then when they needed to punt the ball, he did a good job punting the ball too. So I would vote Carl Jones.
Well, man, rarely does it get to me. It's almost always over by the time it gets to me. But here's what I'm going to do. Coach, I agree with you. And he's a game changer. And I love watching him play. But I also had a couple guys in mind. I'm going to mention a couple of them. Adrian Moreno played fantastic. He played a whale of a football game. The Jernigans both had a great game. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump on the Kevin Willie bandwagon, and I'm going to go with Jacob Zymet, number 28. He was in that backfield all the time. He was wreaking havoc. If he wasn't making the tackle, he was causing Taj Wright to run backwards, on every other third play. So I'm going to go with Jacob Zymet. Kevin, that's a great call on your part. Your thoughts on Jacob Zymet, Coach?
Well, yeah, it is a great call because that defensive line and the penetration they were able to consistently get threw Ridgeview's game plan out the window. Ridgeview wasn't able to throw the ball. They weren't able to run the ball consistently. They drew a number of penalties on them. So that's a good call.
Okay, Jacob Zymet, the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game, representation of an entirely thorough defensive effort by the Drillers. It's a 41-14 final score. Congratulations to Coach Gola and his Drillers, and, of course, Coach Manning and the Ridgeview Wolfpack will be back next week. On behalf of Kevin,